Hello and welcome back to the Lumin Weekly Q&A. Here we are, on the couch again, and this time, we're listening to some Diablo music. That's the soundtrack playing over there, from the Collector's Edition, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. We're also playing it to try and drown out some of the sick sounds from over there. She's sick, and she's over there. But it's fine. It's actually not a problem. Nero just went outside, so you should be seeing him return from over there any second now. Any second. Oh, he's barking out the side. He might be coming from this side. Never mind. He's been a guard dog. That's what he does best. He really does do it well. So, before we start, I wanted to mention that we've been uploading a lot of Diablo recently. And for the next while, we're probably going to upload quite a bit more of it. It seems like, thus far at least, people are enjoying it. And by people, I mean all of you guys and everyone else. Everyone seems to be enjoying it, and that's good. I've got some coffee over here. I don't know if I should leave it back here. I don't know if it's safe. Maybe I'll put it... Oh, goodness. Wait. It's probably safest in my hand. Or in my belly. You know what's sad? Is it's already getting cold. And I just made it. Obviously put too much milk in. Obviously. But a lot of Diablo being uploaded recently, and the trend will continue. I've got some cool Diablo videos coming up as well. One being a little secret that I found concerning something in the game. It's not a big deal, so don't take it too seriously. It's just something that can help you out a little bit. The other being a skill slash build slash items video for her character, for Helene's character. So Barbarian, I don't know much about Barbarian, so that's going to be even more fun for me narrating that, having a look at all the skills, checking what they do. It's going to be an experience for me, because I haven't played any classes that aren't wizard above level 13, which is what I did during the beta. I didn't play it I didn't play anything other than my wizard since launch. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be nice to have a look at that. Other than that, other than that, I've been recording stuff. Other than that, let me think. I'm going to try and get more Skyrim up, more Mass Effect. You be quiet, phone. Get out of here. I don't know why it has to check mail like every 2 minutes while you've got the client open, and I can't open the text document in my mailbox and like save it somewhere. It's frustrating, okay? But I'm going to be uploading quite a bit of Skyrim and Mass Effect. Oh, hello, boy. There he is. He just squeezed through the little hole. Now he's going to go drink some water quickly. Because that barking outside, that's serious business. That tires a person out, and a dog too. You know, if you were a person and barking out there, you'd probably get hoarse and you'd need some water. But he's a dog, so he doesn't get hoarse quite as quickly. Is he out again? Anyway, wait. I was talking about Skyrim, Mass Effect. We're gonna do Terraria as well. I'm not sure why we delayed Terraria. Well, I'm actually quite sure I know. It's mostly because of Diablo. We were gonna record Terraria, but then Diablo released, and then we were like, it was the furthest thing from our minds at the time. But the sad thing is that there's not that much else for us to do in Terraria. We're probably going to kill the rest of the bosses in hard mode. We're going to farm a little bit more, but I'm going to assume, and it's quite sad, but I'm going to assume that the series will probably end within a couple of episodes from where it is now. And that's not a bad thing, because other things will come along to replace it. Who knows? Maybe Starbound, which is being made by the same people who made Terraria. Maybe that's going to be good. So we can wait for that. We can wait for that. Now, we're going to jump into the questions. All I was basically trying to say was a lot of Diablo and a lot of other stuff too, along with news, and probably a couple of extra cool videos coming up soon, which I'm sure everyone will like. Not more cooking stuff just yet, because that was bad enough already. We don't need more salad like that. No, actually, the salad was good. The salad was very good. The tomatoes had a very interesting taste. They tasted like sun-dried tomatoes, because I might have fried them a bit long, but the salad itself was very nice. I was impressed by myself. Okay, so first from Tom, or Fruppelkungen. If you could be the best in the world at any instrument, that's the new Tristram song that's playing over there. Just wait, it's totally correlates to what I'm about to say. If you could be the best in the world at any instrument, which one would you choose? Now, I would have said like playing the guitar, being the best at the guitar would be fun, but I've seen some really, really impressive piano players in my time, and honestly, I would not mind being really good at playing piano. I am pretty bad at playing piano, but it's fun. I was always practicing, not always, a while ago I was like a couple of years ago, I was practicing the Final Fantasy theme songs on it, and it's just a lot of fun being able to actually create that, okay, to be able to play that yourself. So either piano or guitar, those are my two favorites. I wouldn't have said something like the flute, don't worry. I would also not have said something, although also quite impressive if you know what you're doing. I'm not a big fan of drums or anything like that, so anyway, okay, next. Do you like any sort of curry? If so, which ones? If not, what's your favorite takeaway food? I can answer both of those, and I will. But Airsoft Fanatic 10 says, you're missing out on all that spicy goodness if you say no to this. I do like curry. I don't have a favorite type. I don't know curries very well. I like the burny ones, and I like the mild ones too. I actually like pretty much all curries. Oh, you know what I do like? Is the green curries. They're quite fun. I like those. With like chicken in. That's nice. That's very, very nice. We've made that before. We've had it before. I enjoy it. So those are my favorite. I'll just put that as my favorite for this video's sake, because it comes to mind. Takeaways. Nowadays, sushi. We have takeaway sushi because it costs actually less than other takeaways around here, and it doesn't make sense. Don't try understand it. It's not low quality. It's absolutely amazingly good tasting, but that's my favorite right now. Other than that, I'd probably like a burger or something. I don't like pizzas. I do like pizzas, but I prefer burger than pizza. You know, pizzas are usually better if you make them yourself as well. Or if you go eat in a really nice restaurant that makes really good pizzas. So there, that's my answer. Next. This is one that I always have trouble answering, and I'm not going to answer it this time either because I just don't know. What is the funniest thing that's happened to you? In real life, of course. 2 people asked it this week, and I don't know. I just don't know. I guess maybe if something really funny happened to me, then I might have blocked it from my mind and my memory, and I would have forgotten about it by now. But if that's the case, then I obviously can't remember it, so I don't know. But other than that, it's not the kind of thing I really remember very well. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I will think on it, and if I do remember, I'll answer it next week. But that's not the end of this question. If you could do anything for an hour, what would you do? There are three pieces to this question. That's tough, okay? Now, if you say anything in the entire world, then it changes things. But right now, I don't know. I want to say, like, I'd just like to relax for an hour and do nothing, because I don't generally do that. Right now, I'd probably like to just play Diablo 3 for an hour, or Guild Wars 2, because that's like the holy grail. We have it, but we can't really play it. So I'd like to do that. And the reason for that is because, I don't know, I don't really play very many games on my own time. Diablo has been the first game that I've actually been able to do that with. So, in the sense that I've got my character, we're playing through hell mode with it, but I do actually play separately from that. So, when I'm not recording, I can still play because the story can just continue. Even if we get level 60. Even if we get level 60 before we finish hell mode, it's not a big deal. We can still finish the entire playthrough, and it'll be as fun, if not more fun, when we're 60, because we'll have access to more skills, we'll have the Nephilim Valor buff. I'm going on a tangent here, I don't need to talk about that. Back to the question. So doing anything for an hour, I want to say relaxing, but I never really, I don't know, just doing nothing for an hour is a lot of fun, or just spending it doing something with Helene, or with Nero, or, I don't know, it's a difficult question. But if you say anything in the entire world, then that's even more difficult, because there are so many things. There are so many things. I would like to go on an hour-long space flight in space. If it was a space flight down here on Earth, then it would be kind of boring, but that would be fun. I want to experience anti-gravity. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I think it would be. Anyway, next and last, before I reveal who asked these questions. What would you change in Mass Effect, D3, Terraria, Skyrim, etc. if you could? Now, I like the fact that you actually asked all of those and added etc. because There's always something you can change in a wide variety of games, and there's always one thing that'll apply to all of them. And that one thing is, I would like more freedom in those games. More choices. The option to do more things. Now, you might say, well, Skyrim has the option to do many things. Well, no, there's still things that you can't do in Skyrim. Same goes for Terraria, Mass Effect, Diablo 3. More freedom always just leads to more adventure. So that's what I'd like to change in those games, to give the player more freedom. And these questions came from Matilducka. It's such a cute nickname. Matilda, mixed with duck. Matilducka. It's great. It's amazing. Now, next question. This is from Swessant, so you know it's going to be a good one as well. During your years of young adulthood, when you could have looked Nero straight in the eyes. That's brilliant. I don't know if I'd call that young adulthood, but close enough. He's a pretty tall dog when he wants to be. What was your favorite hobby back then? What toy or doing stole most of... sorry, I'm bad at reading. Stole the most hours from you when you were still shooting towards the stars? So, he says, me for instance, I have poured countless hours into building with Lego during my years of growing up. Obviously, we played Lego. Myself and my sister, that was long before I knew Helene, we played a ton of Lego. We had all sorts of Lego blocks, although they were mostly hand-me-downs, like we didn't have the newest, fanciest ones, and I think you'll understand this totally when I say that back then, Lego wasn't how it is now. Back then, they gave you Lego blocks. They gave you blocks and they said, you know, build your own castle. Nowadays, you go and buy a castle and it's already made. And then the only things that you swap around, I don't even know what you swap around nowadays. The Lego just looks so different now. But we played a lot of Lego. That's absolutely amazing. But what I would say we did most was, and it's funny because we used to live on farms, always. We lived on farms till we were like 12 or something. And we spent a lot of time outside. We spent time running around. We spent time exploring. Adventuring is a good word to use here. We built hideouts, like little houses in the trees, little tree houses. Not in the trees, but like on the ground by the trees, because going in the trees could be foolish. What if you fall and no one's there? Anyway, we did that kind of thing. We ran around, we were children, and we did childlike things. Fun things. It was fun though. And stuff on the farm. So there were always animals like cows, sheep, dogs. We had dogs, obviously. They weren't wild dogs, they were our dogs. And there were some nice dog questions here too this week. But that's the kind of stuff we did. We did a lot of stuff outside. I think when we were about 10 or 11, then we got our first computer, and then we spent a lot of time on the computer too. We had to share it, and we only had certain... I think we couldn't play all day. I can't even remember if they limited us. Okay, my parents weren't really into that kind of thing, but I'm sure there were limits in place sometimes. At least sometimes. But that's what we did, and I would say that's probably what we did the most, just doing things outside. Stuff. Playing outside. That's like we did what some people's mothers tell them, you know, go play outside. Go play outside with your brother. That's what we did. Except they didn't need to tell us to do that because we wanted to do it anyway. Then, next question. If you were a genie, what lamp would you reside in? Now that's pretty random, but still. I'll tell you what his description here is, because when people watch this video 200 years from now, and if that is indeed what you have become, then they can look for you, find you, and set you free. Solid plan. That is indeed a solid plan. And let's hope they do that if I do end up in a lamp somehow. I am not sure what kind of lamp I'd reside in. I'd probably say the easiest thing to say would just be an adventurous lamp, but you can't call a lamp adventurous really. So I'd say a unique one. It has to look special. Now, I'm not really good, I'm not a lamp crafter. I'm not really good at describing what I think a lamp should look like. I don't want jewels on my lamp. I don't want no jewels on my lamp when I'm in it, because that's just tacky. Unless they're really subtle. Really subtle. I don't want no jewels on that lamp. So, that said, probably something quite plain with maybe some engravings on it. I've got a thing for maps right now, so maybe some maps engraved on it. A map to like a hidden treasure or something. It could be a multi-purpose lamp. Who knows? Or a map to find the solution to set me free, because rubbing my lamp won't set me free. That is way too simple I can't let them have the easy way out. They need to work to get me out of that lamp. Okay? So that's that. That's that. It's funny that I say the map thing because I've got a map on my wallpaper over there. I've got a map on the wall. I've got another map on the wall. There's a lot of maps. But they're all video game related. That's Sanctuary. That's the province of Skyrim. And that over there is Britannia. Those are good maps. Good maps. Soon I'm going to have the Sanctuary one on the wall as well when I actually get around to getting my Book of Cain. I've just been too lazy to go order it. All I need to do is put the code on my phone for the book, go to the bookshop, tell them this is the book I want, and then they'll get it for me. But we've even got a voucher at said bookshop. Anyway. Okay. So that's it. Now, this is from Matt. What made you move / live, what made you move to South Africa or live in South Africa? And how is it in your town? We were born here. Both of us were born here. And so we didn't actually move here. My father might have moved here. I don't know what made him move here. Maybe it's the land of promise. Maybe he thought it was... Well, I think the grass is literally greener on this side because he came from Namibia. So there's not much green grass over there. Shame. Poor Namibians. I'm sorry, I don't mean it. I don't mean it. But we've been living here all our lives. And I suppose that said, we don't know much about life anywhere else, so I can't compare it. Although I do know about life other places, it's still difficult to compare it. I think living here is quite nice if you can live comfortably enough. A lot of people in South Africa and the whole of Africa don't live very comfortably. They don't even have the basic necessities, like food, running water, clean running water, and stuff like that. Shelter, whatever you want to call it. So everyone doesn't have it very well in Southern Africa, but those that do, I'm sure that they have, you know, it's a pretty decent place to live, especially if you live in a small town like us. We do live in a small town, and we're probably about an hour and a bit away from Cape Town, so we still get a lot of tourists here because this is the whale watching capital of the world. There are lots of whales. We're gonna go whale watching, don't worry. Me and you guys, maybe Helene too, we'll go whale watching sometime when the whales actually get here. They're starting to arrive now because I think around September is, well, between a month or two around September, like a month before, a month after, that's probably the best time. I'm probably going to be corrected here by someone that knows better than me, but around then there are lots of whales here and people come to see them. But anyway, I'm going off tangent, off topic again. Basically, living here is okay. I can't say anything really bad about it. For us specifically now. I'm sure other people can say lots of bad stuff about it. Now, that was from Matt. Evil Mega Cookie asks, will you return to Path of Exile? I have actually answered this before, but this is a quick answer. I'll say yes, I probably will. And I'd like to play the new class that they put in, the Shadow. But at the same time, I'd like to wait till they're a bit closer to launch so I can sort of give a better impression, my own impressions on the closer to finished product. So that it could be fun. I think it'll be nice seeing it again, especially after I've also played Diablo. Okay, that's coffee. It's cold now too. Next, this is from the Sparrow's Journey, and this is not only a question, it's like it's just a bit of a response to last time. For the Secret World, would you like a more terror-ish feel to the game? My experience on terror games isn't that great, but except for Resident Evil. The Secret World is probably the most scary, the scariest atmosphere that I've ever played in. And, you know, the Secret World, from what I've seen, I watched a bit of Total Biscuit's stream, I played it a little bit myself, but sure, it's scary, but the weird thing is, the funny thing is, that it just doesn't feel like you're in it. You want scary, you play like Metro 2033, you play like Dead Space, you play something like that. And yes, I would prefer the game to be more scary, but what I felt when I was running around the streets of London in Secret World wasn't, it didn't feel real enough. Maybe that's because the engine that they were using wasn't really up to scratch. Maybe they need to polish it a lot more. I'm pretty sure I was running the graphics on max. It just didn't feel immersive. And it's funny to say that just the graphics, that alone would keep you from being immersed in the game, but that happens sometimes. It happens. If the characters look like they're out of place in the game world, then you just don't feel it. It just doesn't feel as real to you. And in a scary game, I think that's incredibly important. The atmosphere is like literally the game. That's the biggest part of the game. That's why games like Amnesia are as scary as they are. But yeah, I think they would have done better if they had gone even more scary. That said, I haven't played very much of it, so I don't know. Maybe there are missions and stuff that you go on that are super scary. And again, I'll go back to what I said last time, because it's set in now times, in the real world, it can be that much more believable. So they have a lot to work with. Now the game isn't done yet, so who knows, maybe by the time it launches it will be that much more scary and it'll feel that much better. I will definitely check it out again before launch. So, next. I have a few questions this person asks. I'll tell you who these questions are. No, I'll tell you now. This is from Taya. I am Latea. That's her nickname right here on YouTube. I'm assuming it's a she. But she's got quite a few questions here. They fill up all of my iPhone screen. So, firstly, have you received any more fan mail? I'm very keen to send you and Riot Panda something, and I was wondering what type of stuff you like. We've received fan mail recently, just very recently, and I'm going to make a video about it very soon. I haven't checked the post since... but just before the weekend, so I'll probably go again this week sometime. Maybe there's more, but this week you're definitely going to see another Lumin mailbox coming up, and hopefully soon after that. As for stuff that you can send us anything. Send us something that's you. Send us something that I don't want to say something special to you, but something that you think that we'd like. It's much more fun if you send something that you think we'd like, because it tells us something about you, and it tells you something about us. No, that doesn't work that way. No, but basically anything. We love absolutely everything we've been sent so far. I'm not going to spoil what I got now, because I usually open the package, I have a look at it, and then I record the video. But it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Really, really cool. Now the rest of her questions are quite fun as well. So, secondly, you posted a video a while ago of Riot Panda drawing. Has she ever considered doing videos of just her painting / drawing? I absolutely love her style of art. As an artist myself, I love watching how other people work. So, she has, and she's probably going to be posting videos sometime. We are working on some stuff. We're not going to talk about that yet, but she is probably going to be using her YouTube channel sometime in the future. But there are more questions that are going to tie in with this, so hold on. Now, I know she's shy, but the camera will only be on her paper / canvas. If she already does this, I would love to subscribe to her channel. So as I said, she hasn't really done it yet, but the only video that she's done of that is on this channel. Somewhere. It was a while ago. That was for my 1000 subscriber video, and that was a long time ago. Otherwise, the rest of this question... And does she have a DeviantArt account? I'm a huge fan of her. So what I'll do is I'll put her links below. She's got links. She's got a Twitter account. She's got a Tumblr account, I think. She's got a website that she's busy working on as well. The website's not complete yet, but she's starting to post stuff on there now. And I'll link it all below, so you can check it out for yourself. She has posted some stuff there. Some really cool stuff. So you can check that out. Thirdly, how old is Nero and what breed is he? Well, she says breed / breeds. Yes, breeds. Definitely more than one breed in Nero. We're not sure. Then she says, he looks kind of like my brother's dog, and she's a dingo crossed with an Australian Shepherd. That is amazing. Because I googled dingoes just to see what they were like, and they look exactly like Nero. They look so much like Nero. They are the embodiment of everything Nero, and I see Nero's actually gone now. I know he is. He's sleeping on the couch in there because I'm making a noise in here. That's what he does when he wants peace and quiet. Is he coming? No. When he wants peace and quiet, then he goes and either sleeps on our beds in the room or on the couch. Because it's dark in there, it's quiet in there. And when he sleeps, he sleeps. He sleeps seriously. So, he has a German Shepherd for a mother, or he had. And... sadly, I think we heard that she died giving birth to the litter of puppies, and I'm not sure what happened with everything like that. We got him from the shelter, the Animal Welfare, SPCA it's called in South Africa, and he was like a little survivor doggy, okay? He didn't have a good time. We got him when he was 10 weeks, or 8 weeks, or 10 weeks old, and that's that. That's all we know about him. We don't know who the father is, we don't know anything about the real breed type, but he's cute, and that's all we need to know. Lost. I noticed you drink Milo. I thought it was only an Australian drink. Do you have it cold too? Or have you ever tried sprinkling it on top of ice cream? vanilla and or honey ice cream is the most wonderful. I've never had honey ice cream in my life. I feel as if I'm missing out after hearing that. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we could make honey ice cream. We could just take some vanilla, mix some honey with it. That's it. Sounds good. Sounds very good. Have you tried to add in vanilla essence to it? I find that it works best when you have it hot, but it's amazing either way. So I've had Milo in every single way. I've had it with my cereal, on ice cream, definitely, in a banana. I've had it everywhere. I've had Milo in all sorts of ways, and yes, it's absolutely amazing. It's the best. It's really good. It's probably my favorite of the drink type things. It's good. I'm glad you like it, and it is an Australian drink. It comes from Australia, originally. Then, WowNo666 asks, or just WowNo, what's your favorite Pokemon from the first season of Pokemon? First season, is that the one with Pikachu, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur? I think? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Pikachu, I'll tell you that. And I don't know, I don't follow the Pokemon seasons or series or whatever, so I can't really say who my favorite is amongst all of them. But you know, if I had to speak from experience from the games, I always get attached to the ones that I start with. So if I had to start with Pikachu, I'd probably get attached to him. But we started playing Black and White, and I chose Snivy or Snivy, and just because I got him right at the start, then I'd always feel too bad for dropping those. So I keep that Pokemon all the way through the game, let him evolve a bunch of times, and he's my go-to Pokemon. So that's all I can say. I don't know enough about the Pokemon series to be able to call who my favorite is. It's not Jigglypuff. Straight up. Not Jigglypuff. Or Pikachu. Or Raichu. Because I think Raichu looks super lame compared to Pikachu. Anyway, moving along. When do you think Guild Wars 2 will be coming out? Next month, hopefully? Question mark. Can't wait to go on grand adventures with the Lumin Guild. This is from Mr. Schmoopy. Also such a good nickname. Schmoopy. Man. I love that word. Just let that sink in for a moment. Schmoopy. Okay, so Guild Wars. I would love to say it's coming out next month, but it's not. I don't think it's coming out in June. I think that June, July, August, September. I think they'll release it in September. I think they need a bit more time. And the good thing is that there's not actually a big rush. They're not competing with anything huge right now. They're going to be out long before Pandoria's out, or at least a couple of months before Pandoria's out, a month or two. So that's fine. I think they'll be okay with that. But that said, they probably want to get it out. They're going to get it out this year, obviously, but they will probably want to get it out sooner rather than later. The thing is, the Guild Wars guys, they did say that they are the kind of people who want it polished and complete and ready before they ship it, because that's one of the biggest problems that a lot of MMO companies out there have, companies that make MMOs. They release the game long before it's actually ready, and then... has been skew all along? Not really, it doesn't matter. They release the game long before it's ready, and that sort of ruins it. It has a bad launch, it has too many issues at launch, and then people just are put off by it. So I'm happy if they take their time, and if I had to guess, I'd say September. I think that's a good guess. And yes, we can't wait to play in the next beta weekend. I hope it comes up this coming weekend, but I just don't know. They will let us know beforehand, and as I said, I cannot wait. I think the game will be performing a bit better, so it should be a lot of fun. Then, from Love to Game for Life, after playing Assassin's Creed Revelations, are you excited for Assassin's Creed 3 with the new American Revolution setting? And will you be playing it? I will probably be playing it, and I'm quite excited for the setting, yes. I think that they have a bit more freedom when it comes to what they want to do with, say, the weapons or everything, actually. And I like the whole hunting thing. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I like that it looks like the game has a bit more freedom. You're not going to spend the entire game in one big city. You're going to go out and do things in the wilderness. And as you know, I love adventuring in the wilderness. So yes, super excited. From Honorize, my question. Have you played Borderlands or the Borderlands series? And are you going to play Borderlands 2? There's another part. I'm going to answer this part first. We played Borderlands 1 quite a bit, the two of us. Co-op. Super cool game. I loved the randomization of the weapons and stuff that dropped. I enjoyed the sniper class. What is his name? Mordecai or something. I think the game is really cool. It's like a proper RPG, a proper first-person RPG with a lot of random elements. I think it would have been cooler if it was a little bit more open world and not as linear. It's still quite fun as it is, but it would have been cooler if it was sort of like Borderlands in a world like Skyrim. Imagine that. Or just imagine Skyrim co-op. Here we're back to that again. Skyrim co-op. Brilliant. Done. That will secure another 3 million sales for Skyrim. Probably. And Skyrim's probably already one of the most sold PC games ever, or games ever, console and PC. But, you know, Borderlands 2, I haven't seen that much of it, but it does look good. I can't say if I'm going to be playing it a lot or not, but I'll definitely try it out if I can. I'll try it out. Then, do you like or dislike zombie games? Like Dead Island, Left 4 Dead, or Dead Rising? I do like them. I love the whole zombie theme. I liked Walking Dead as a series. I liked those 28 Days Later type movies. They were scary. They kind of scared me, but it's fun. It's actually fun. I like it. As for the games, Dead Island was one of those games that I wish was better than it actually was, but I like the idea. And recently, one game that's been catching my attention more often is DayZ or DayZ. That's that zombie mod for armor. And the sad thing is, I can't really play it. I would have played it by now already, but all the servers are international. There are no local servers, and if there were local servers, they'd probably be empty. But because they're international, it's not going to be much fun for me playing on them, because I'd have to play with 250 plus latency. And an FPS game where you actually have to react quickly, shoot something accurately, it won't work at that latency. You need maybe less than 100 to be able to do that properly. Unless you guys tell me that I'm wrong, I probably won't be playing that or making videos of it anytime soon. We'll see. Maybe there comes a local server and it's actually really cool. Who knows? Maybe the local people want to play it and they host a server locally. We'll see. We'll see. By locally I mean in South Africa. Because I'd have less ping to it. I'd probably get about sub 50. So if we play Quake live on local servers, then we get about 50 ping, and it's quite playable. Then, Lumin, what can you say about South African cuisine? Unfortunately, South African food isn't well known in the US. Also, is American cuisine like hamburgers and pizza, thank our German and Italian immigrants for those, very popular in South Africa? This is from Porsche 911 SBS. So, first part of the question, I can say that South African food is actually very good. The whole braai / barbecue thing, braai being barbecue, it's just an Afrikaans way of saying it, is amazing. Boerewors, so good. It's like a type of sausage. Really good. Really, really good. The Americans call it beef jerky, we call it biltong here. That's also really good. Is it beef jerky or just jerky, or I don't know, something like that? Something like that. We've got that here, better than anywhere else in the world. And I don't know. People make really interesting food here. Potjiekos, which is like a pot of, it's like, you could call it a stew with like meat and stuff in, and lots of other stuff. There's a lot of really good food. A lot of good food. We don't eat it very often. That's like the traditional home cooked meal type thing. Not the braai obviously, that's the typical Friday night type thing. But we don't have it very often, and when we do, we always enjoy it. As for American cuisine, as you like to call it, hamburgers and pizza, it's everywhere. We've got a bunch of hamburger places in town. We can order takeaways for them. We can order takeaway pizza, have it delivered to our door if we want. Yes, even in a small town like this, we can do that. Obviously well known, everyone eats it. Everyone loves pizza, hamburgers, French fries, everything like that. It's very popular. Fish and chips as well. And personally, as I said, we don't eat we don't eat takeaways that often, but I do kind of enjoy it all. Some more than others, but I do enjoy it all. And it's a pity that South African food isn't more prominent elsewhere. I do think that in the UK, they kind of have a few South African style restaurants. I think they do. And we were actually discussing it. I don't know if any of you in the UK can confirm it, but Steers is a takeaway fast food chain here. They make the most amazing burgers. And we're talking about it today. That's from South Africa, as well as Nando's, a chicken place. I think that's in the UK as well. I'm not sure if it's in the US. I actually doubt it, but I do know it's in the UK. So that's that. That is that. So, the next question... Oh man, I've lost my place. Goodness, why does it take me so long to find it? There are a lot of questions on here. Well, there are a couple. Let's see. So, the next question is from Zidana. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is an interesting one, okay? She asks, what's your opinion of Tom Bombadil and his exclusion from Peter Jackson's movie rendition? This is on sort of relating to me talking about Lord of the Rings, saying I really enjoyed Lord of the Rings, the books and the movies. And for those that aren't in the know or don't know about this, they removed this Tom Bombadil character and all the encounters with him from the movie. And my thoughts, I think honestly, they either weren't brave enough to try, because if you ask me, judging from how he was in the books, I don't remember it very well, but judging from how he was in the books, he was pretty important, and he was a real character. Like, he would have been tough to put in a movie, I think. And, that said, if they had put him in the movie, then the first part of Lord of the Rings would probably have been 6 hours long. Just because of the depth of the character and the amount of stuff that they'd have to shove in there to make it work. So maybe they weren't, maybe Peter Jackson just wasn't Jackson. Oh, I'm going all Sean Connery wolf here. I apologize. So maybe he just wasn't brave enough to do it, maybe he wasn't ambitious enough to add him, but at the same time, maybe the character wasn't that important to the entirety of the story. Maybe they wanted to tell the story of the Ring, of Frodo, of Bilbo, of the Fellowship, and he wasn't as essential to it. Maybe that's what it was. I mean, I can't say for sure. Honestly, Tom Bombadil, like, he's a character that you remember, and I think it's a character that a lot of people would be angry that was excluded, but at the same time, I think he's the kind of character that wouldn't have, if people didn't even know about him, like people who watched the movie and absolutely loved it, they didn't go away from the movie with less than they would have if he was in the movie. Like, it would have given them some more to think about, because it really does give you a lot to think about if you know what happened. Because they sort of, for those that don't know, they sort of hint at him being a lot more than he actually is. He's able to handle the ring, and like he puts the ring on and it doesn't affect him. He can see through the ring's invisibility. We're talking about Lord of the Rings here, the one ring that you put on and it makes you flip out. It makes Frodo flip out at least. But he's like, he can see through all of that and it doesn't affect him in any way. But at the same time, he's tied to this area that he lives in, and it's tough. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that I think in the book he didn't only show up there, he showed up multiple times. I think he was at the meeting with Elrond as well, where they were deciding what to do. Was he there? I don't know. I can't remember, it was a long time ago. But because he shows up everywhere, it probably took them a bit of effort to remove him, but at the same time it did probably save them a lot of hours on the movie as well. Because that alone, it might have just been, if I had to in closing just say, or the long and short of it, might have just been that they didn't add him because he wasn't essential to the plot. That's it. Maybe they do something with him in the future. Who knows? Who knows? I would have been keen to see how they put him in, but I suppose it just wasn't meant to be. So, next. I don't know. Kelpie Sean. Will there be another guild meeting in the next Guild Wars 2 beta weekend? It's really taunting me having my copy of Guild Wars 2 right next to me, knowing I can't play it yet. And also, do you prefer digital, Steam for example, or physical copies of games, and why? So, there's definitely going to be another meeting. We're going to do stuff, if we can. We're going to have fun, mostly. But there'll definitely be another meeting. We'll organize some stuff before the beta weekend actually starts, when it gets announced, basically. I'm not sure if they're going to be wiping our characters again, so I'm not sure if the guild will already be there in place and waiting for us. And I should probably mention that we're probably going to change the name of the guild when the game actually launches, but what we're going to do is, we're going to take votes, and we're going to see what you guys think about guild names. We're going to involve everyone that's going to be in the guild with the choosing of its name, the setting up of the guild. So we'll talk about that later, obviously, but definitely going to do stuff when the weekend comes around. I'm hoping it's this coming weekend. I'm not sure if it's going to be. As for digital versus physical, it's difficult. I like collector's editions. I've got, right now, the World of Warcraft Cataclysm one, Diablo 3, StarCraft, and a couple of other... There are a bunch of game boxes over there as well. All the old Blizzard games, they're all up there. I think in some cases, I do want the physical copy. In all Blizzard games cases, in Guild Wars 2, in Guild Wars 2 case, where I went and bought the collector's edition of it, which cost quite a bit. I prefer physical copies, but at the same time, I can't say that I don't appreciate how easy Steam is. It's really easy. Quick, easy, and sometimes cheap. Not always. Sometimes cheap. There are also nice specials on Steam, and like GOG.com. Same thing. GOG actually tends to give you more extras with your game, which is really cool. Wallpapers, soundtracks, stuff. So I'd say I'd put them about even. I'd like the physical for some, but I'd also like the digital for some others. So that's that. Then, when are you going to introduce your girlfriend to us? You're talking about her all the time. I really want to meet the love of your life. This is from Machiavelli 1109. And soon. Don't worry. That's it. Done and done. That was a good question. Thank you. Lumin, will you... This is such a good question. Lumin, will you support Germany in the Euro 2012 or any other national team that participates in the Euro 2012? This is from Eminem versus me. Sorry, I had to read that a couple of times. I don't know what the Euro 2012 is, so sure, I'll support Germany. Straight up, that's my team. I don't know, I'm guessing it's soccer. Germany are pretty good at soccer, so it's probably soccer. So... yes, I'll support Germany gladly. I don't think South Africa is playing in the Euro 2012, and South Africa is actually not that great at soccer. But I'm sorry, to clarify, I don't follow sport, not really, so I can't really comment on that. This is the last question. It's from Monkers X. Did Helene used to look like an awesome badass? Now that's such a random question. I don't know why you'd ask that, but yes, she did. She was like a real mean street thug. Well, no, not really. She's looking at me now. No, she wasn't like a real mean street thug. No. She did look a lot different. I'll tell you that. Maybe I'll show you guys a photo someday. She doesn't look happy with that, but she looked a lot different than she looks now. And not bad. Not a bad different, but she looked different. So, that's something for you guys to look forward to, for sure. That's something for you to look forward to. But those are all the questions. I'll say again that if you want to leave questions, just leave them as comments. I go through the comments, and right now it's still at a manageable level. I'm able to collect all the comments, or the questions in the comments, and put them in a text pad and put them on my phone. But if it gets too much, I said before, I'll probably have to only use email or private messages for that. Probably email. I'll like set up a dedicated email address for the questions. But right now, leave a comment with your question in it and I'll check it out. Or mail it to talesoflumin@gmail.com or send me a PM right here on YouTube. Any of those will work. You can ask about anything. You can ask about her, because the questions about Helene are always good. You can ask anything about me, about Nero, about the games that I'm playing on the channel, the games that I'm going to be playing in the future, about Diablo, about Guild Wars, about anything. I don't mind. You can ask it, I'll try answer it to the best. About food as well, because I love talking about food. I do. So, sadly, that's going to be it for this episode. Nero's still not here, and I'm quite sad about that, but I'm going to go look where he is right now. I'm going to go look. Find out where he is. Maybe I'll actually take you with me, because I can do that. And, well, you can get to see where Nero is. I know where he is. Like, he's sleeping somewhere. So, I'm going to carry you now, and take you to find Nero. Let's see where he is. Oh, shame boy. Do I have a torch on here? There's a flashlight. There he is. Hello, boy. Hello, Schnappy. Hello. Oh, sorry, I'm shining the light in your eye. I'll cover your eyes. Look at him lying here. He even managed to squeeze himself under the pillow. That's amazing. Oh. It's a good man. Okay. So, leave those questions. This is scary. Leave those questions. And check back here soon for more. Most importantly, this is Dead Space Lumin. Most importantly though, happy all those things.